one of the things that I want you guys to do is to stay focused and get to the money. Throughout my journey as a content creator, as a businessman, as an influencer, some will say, I don't know how you guys categorize me, but I just speak to whatever it is that I see largely on the internet. I did a interview with real life street stars. Shout out to them boys over there in Dallas. And they put in a label Deca Millionaire. Now, one of the reasons why they put into the label Deca Millionaire was because of them being able to see certain things in a part of my bank account, my portfolio, and some of them are bag chasers. Shout out to the bag chasers. You know I show all of my information online. And we have conversations, and we've been looking to connect for a while before I got back down to Dallas, and then they released this interview, right? So I don't control, nor do I care what people put as the label, but they decided to put that as the label. Deca Millionaire, Anton Daniels, based off of their familiarity with me. One of them are familiar with what it is that I have in my bank account, what my portfolio look like, and the whole 9 years, right? And as these interviews get released and I check in and I tap in, and different people like, oh, Anton, I seen you on Real Life Street Stars and all of that stuff, right? And, I was talking my talk, and so that's what I do. I entertain, I add value, and then hopefully you can get the meat and spit out the bones. That's what we do, right? And on top of that, of course, there's always going to be some dusties here and there that is bothered by the idea that I continue to win on the highest level. And since I came on the internet, there has been people that has been wishing for my downfall. Don't worry about it. You too. Them wishing on my downfall is wishing on your downfall, because I add value into your life, right? So whenever there's an offense against one of us, it's an offense against all of us as far as I'm concerned. When I see people talk negatively about anybody that I'm associated with, in a bag chaser or anything like that, when I see different people arguing, I try to intervene and I say, hey, what are y'all doing? Why are we not working together? Why can't we make an adjustment? Why can't we work towards the betterment of each other instead of looking to tear each other down, especially when you don't even really know this person in real life? Why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? Is this person really against you? Is this person really doing something negative to the people, or are they figuring out how to add value into somebody's life? I do that for the people that I know, not for people that I don't know. I don't care nothing about them. The only thing I care about is you guys. I only care about you. I genuinely only care about you, right? And so, of course, there's some dusties. There's still some rumors out there that I've never addressed, as far as Anton got all of his money out of inheritance. From where? From who? Pull it up. Anybody can leapfrog off of a bunch of other stuff that came up as a rumor. Why should I substantiate it? My substance and the value that I bring is based off of the results. You see it every single day. If you're a bag chaser, you've seen my W-2s. You've seen my brokerage accounts. You see my real estate. As a matter of fact, let me share with you what my thoughts are going forward. So the first thing that I want to have a conversation about is slow growth, staying focused, and getting to the money. I was talking to a pretty famous R&B singer last night, and we were kind of talking to each other and pouring into each other as far as adding value into each other's lives. And we were discussing money and marriage, and really, really, really cool brother. I got so much love for him. Shout out to you, my dog. I appreciate you, bro. And we were so focused on building that we don't even spend no time talking about any negativity whatsoever. Now, I had largely forgot about this number until somebody reminded me of it, and then I screenshotted it and I threw it on Instagram over the weekend. But this is the second channel. They said that I couldn't do it once, so I decided to do it twice. So this is the second channel that actually surpassed the 200,000 mark. Now, we've evolved past a point to where we're not as focused about the numbers anymore, and so we just so focused on building. We stand focused and we get into the money. Building, focus, get into the money. Building, focus, get into the money. How can we continue to grow? How can we continue to push? How can we continue to add value into each other's lives? Now, this is a milestone for them. This is not a milestone for us, because we're not looking at this based off of where we at. We looking at it based off of where we projecting ourselves to be. The milestones and the results is for everybody else. We so focused on the process. It's somebody that's seen that and they said, listen, I'm going to unsubscribe. I'm going to take it down to 290. And then it went right back up to 291. You know why? Because they can't stop what it is that we're doing. We're staying focused and we get into the money. I was observing some people this weekend and they was bickering and arguing and they was going back and forth about some small junk that wasn't even relevant to anything, wasn't adding no money into nobody's pocket, but just continuing to take out of their energy and tear each other down. And it's not adding any value whatsoever. What's the point? What's the point? What does it mean? How does it add value into your life? Anytime you start to evaluate whether or not you should do something or you shouldn't do something, the first thing that I want you to do is evaluate whether or not it's going to add value into your life. One of the things I plan on discussing in the live stream on the Patreon this weekend, make sure you tap into that description. One of the things I plan on tapping into on the Patreon this weekend is the progress that we're making on the site. I say, I deliver, I execute on the things that I say that I'm going to do. And I say that I'm going to do it first before I speak to it so that I can then add value into you guys' lives. And I'm keeping a really close, detailed documentation of what we're progressing on as far as this build that we have going on at the site. And so this is what it is that I seen over the weekend. And I'm keeping you guys up to date, right? Because they're now breaking ground. So all of the hard work that we had to do and all of the tens of thousands of dollars, and I've spent over $100,000. And this is the point that we're at right now, right? This was over the weekend. We got excavation crews over there, right? They dug out. Everything is approved. We got them peoples over there. Everything is going absolutely awesome. So I'm going to speak to you guys and I'm going to give you the updates of what it takes in order to build a house from scratch, because I've never done it before. And because this is my first time doing it, I want to make sure that I tell you guys and show you guys what's going on out here in these streets, right? And because I love to document the process, I love to live my life like an open book. That way you have the receipts. So 5 years from now, when somebody says, Anton don't know nothing about building a house, but I'm building 100 of them at a time, you can sit there and you can say, wait a minute. I was there at its inception. Anton has been documenting this process throughout the entire time. Why should he even sit here and entertain responding to you, because you can't respond to everything that everybody says? The only thing you can do is continue to embrace the process. The results is for them. The process is for you. More importantly, this morning, I had my project manager on site, and they're already starting to frame so that they can pour the concrete and they can get the foundation. We put in the building in there. And we got some others out there on the site. If you know what an other is, then you know. And so this morning, they're already starting to frame. They should be pouring over the next 3 weeks. Everything should be cured. I was talking to my contractor and my architect this morning, and he was giving me some updates and things like that. But more importantly, one of the things that I'm going to live stream with y'all is I've already started the build process for the second site. And then we've already went into an agreement to buy the third site. So we're just rolling here. We rolling, we building, we doing what it is that we do. We not worried about what everybody else is talking about, because it does not add value into our lives. Now, what is the moral of what it is that I'm having a conversation with you guys about today? Huh? What is the moral of what it is that I'm having a conversation with you guys about today? No financing, no hard money loans, no investors, 100% out of my own pocket. November, we doing the Invest in Your Business series where you guys are going to pitch me. I'm going to give you the grant money, and I don't need any equity in your business. End of November, I don't need any equity in your business in order to try to get you off the ground, because I want you guys to leverage the lessons that I'm teaching you inside of the Patreon in order to continue to build and win, right? What is the lesson that I'm trying to tell you guys today? What am I trying to communicate to you guys? There are going to be a lot of people that try to throw you off of your game. They're going to try to take your confidence. They're going to try to sabotage you. They're going to try to kill your name. They're going to try to destroy you. They're going to try to prevent you from becoming great. They're going to see the greatness in you before you see it in yourself. And then they're going to try to prevent you from getting to that greatness by taking everything that you have that's within you, but you have to understand that it's for you to lose, not for them to take from you. It's for you to listen to what I'm saying. It's for you to lose, not for them to be able to take from you. They can't take from you what God has already ordained for you to have. They can't take from you what's already yours. The only thing that you can do is choose to fumble it. It's yours. It's in your hand. I tell guys this all the time about a relationship, right? I tell guys this all the time. When you walk up to a woman and you approach her, I'm not talking about shooting no DMs from the old school. When you walk up to a person, right? Before they even have a conversation with you, they already know whether or not they like you. What usually happens is, and this happens in the interview process, this happens in relationships, this happens with regard to content creators. What usually happens is it's yours to lose, not necessarily that it's not already yours. They already know whether or not they want to rock with you. They already know whether or not they like you. They called you into the interview process because they've already been interested in you participating and having a job. It's yours to lose, not theirs to take away from you. And when you have a different mindset and you approach it differently, you continue to evolve and you grow. So what we're going to do this time around, now that we've accomplished some of the things that we wanted to accomplish, what we're going to do this time around, right? Now that we've continued to grow and we've also evolved past the 200,000 mark, we not going to take a dump on our enemies this time. We just going to ignore them and continue to push. Because any energy that we expend towards them is energy that could be used elsewhere for value, not for trolling. We don't care anymore. We've passed the threshold where we no longer have to prove anything to anybody. The only thing that we want to do is run it up. I want bags, not hags. When you evolve past a certain point as a man, you want cash, not ass. You understand that the ass come with it. It's yours to turn down. When it's plentiful and abundant, you're not chasing it no more. You don't have to defend yourself no more. You're running the numbers up. They're waiting for the scraps off of your table. We don't care no more. We've already won. If you were going to stop us, you should have did so in our infancy when we didn't even realize how great we were. When Jesus was born, there were people that understood his greatness and they were hearing about Jesus of Nazareth before he was ever even able to speak a word. They set out to destroy him in his infancy because they already realized that he was going to be too powerful by the time that he was able to preach the word of God. I'm just going to tell you the truth. It's the reason why they set out to stop him in his infancy. At this point, we're too strong. They knew his greatness. Listen, the people that hate you know you're great just as much as you're professing it and living it. It's the reason why they hate you before you get there, because by the time you get there, you're too big to stop. And so you cannot continue to entertain it once you pass a certain level. Once you evolve, you don't devolve. You don't go back to the place that you came from. You build on what it is that you've already set as your foundation. Push. Push. Why are you entertaining people with no profile picture? You don't even know what they look like. Have you ever seen what these people look like in real life? Honest to God, have you ever seen what these people look like in real life? When you run into them, you realize, oh, that's why you used to hate me. And they'll tell you, Anton, I used to hate you until I realized that it was just me. If you see them in person, you can see them. Okay. And then you start pulling up their trousers. You start dusting off their shoulders because they're a little dusty. Then you start putting them together. Hey, man, pick your shoulders up. Don't be the hunchback of Notre Dame. Walk with confidence. Continue to level up. Brush your teeth. Throw some mouthwash in there while you at it. You see what I'm saying? You start feeling sorry for the people that hated you, not because they hated you, because they hated themselves. And they seen growth in you that they didn't see in themselves yet. We're here to build. Here to build. Don't worry about it. When you see them in person, they're going to get a little uncomfortable, and sometimes they hide. And they say, oh, and I can see them sometimes. And I'm walking down the street, and I'm vlogging, and I'm having a conversation, and I'm making a new video that I'm going to be dropping that night. And they be sitting there like this, trying to figure out whether or not they want to speak to me and stuff. And then I just go over there and say, what up, y'all? How y'all doing? What's going on? And they be like, oh, man, that's Anton from AntonDaniels.com. They know my slogan. They was sheepish because they felt a certain type of way. They didn't know I was really going to be outside. And then when they interacted with me, they didn't realize that they was going to love me, and they didn't want to love me because it was going to force them to face themselves. But it's no way that you can meet me and not love me. There is nobody. I've never gotten any smoking person, not one time in my entire life, from somebody that knew me on the internet, not one person. Now, how is this true? How can this be a thing? How come Anton is everywhere outside city to city, and there is nobody that can have a conversation with me for an extended period of time and sit here and say that they don't like me? You will adore me when I get done with you. It's infectious. Positivity, greatness, success. It's infectious. Let me inspire you. Let me push you. Let me show you how I did it. We better together than we are apart. But don't be fooled. And this is to my bag chaser. Shout out to the Patreon members. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. But don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Just because they love you don't mean that they won't stab you in the back. Remember that. Just because they love you don't mean that they won't stab you in the back. So keep your head on the swivel. I'm not telling you to not be wise, but I am telling you to be very, very careful. But more importantly, run it up. Stay focused. Stay dedicated. Stay allocating your time and your energy to divesting from the things that's not best for you and pushing yourself to do the things that's in your own best interest. Run it up. It's Monday. It's a new month. We got October, November, December. We got 3 more months. We in the fourth quarter, y'all. We in the fourth quarter, y'all. Basketball season about to start. Football season is already in full swing. Baseball season about to be winding down soon. We in the fourth quarter. We about to be in 2024, and y'all still having the same conversations that y'all was having last year. Grow up. You've been having the same conversation, trying to push the same narrative for the last 2 to 3 years. Grow up. Don't you realize that ain't nothing that's going to stop him? And when I say him, I'm talking about me, because I am him. Grow up. Evolve. I've seen so many people come and go. I've seen so many people fall off. I've seen people that came against me and then fell against me and then apologized and came back and then disappeared again. Grow up. Grow up. Grow a pair and grow up. Start figuring out how you can be better tomorrow, because you looking dusty, just as dusty this year as you were last year and the year before. When you going to level up? When you going to focus on yourself? I'm sure it's somebody out there that got about 80 posters of me up on their wall trying to figure it out. Instead of having a mirror up there, they got posters of me. Don't let me live rent-free in your head. Let's get it, y'all. All right? Roll to 1 million. We not stopping at 300,000. Listen. If it take the next 10 years, we're not even going to entertain. We not celebrating 300. We not celebrating 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. Until we get 1 million, we stand focused. We stand with our head in the mire. We dedicating ourselves until you guys share this with 1 million of your friends and all of them subscribe. then we just going to stay focused on what it is that we got going on. We not going to even pay attention to 300, 400, 455, 6. We don't care nothing about that. $1 million is the number or bust. $1 million or bust, all right? All right.